I should start saying that more often. 10 ways, 10 steps to get all the private money and the hard money. Get all your hard money and private money loans zero down. This is a question that's come in many times. Every hard money lender I've contacted wants me to put a lot of money down. Is there a way to get the money from a private lender or from a hard money lender zero down? First of all, some people don't know the difference. You should go through. We have a class on private money, different ways of finding private money. The difference between private money and hard money. It's something that you should know and you should be familiar with. Also, I tried the Big RIA people page too. Thanks for all you guys are doing. Appreciate the feedback so much. You can go to bigria.com. There's a lot of private money and hard money lenders there. Again, the difference between hard money and private money, it's like, what's the difference? It's like 5%, right? With private money, it's like somebody you know, an individual. It's like your uncle or someone that's got money under their mattress, and you can use that and you can do deals with them that way. What do you keep pointing to? Is that? Oh, by the way, yes, you guys comments about my skin stuff and how awesome. Don't worry about it. You look great. I appreciate that so much. I should say that more often, just to hear you guys say that. I appreciate it. That's very nice of you. Thank you so much. The thing is that when we talk about the hard money, getting hard money zero down, this is something a lot of people, you don't need money to do any of these deals. Have we said that yet? Did you put that up here? Okay, first of all, you don't need money to do any deals. If you're an active investor, right? Passive investor, obviously you need money because you're not going to do anything but write checks. But the active investor, we never suggest any loans or anything like that. You do not need any money to do deals. One of the biggest problems people think is that you need money to make money and that you need money to get into real estate or deals. None of that is true. It's never true. You don't need money. You can do all our models and business building, all of it zero down. That being said, it is good to know how to work these deals. It's important that you understand how to get hard money, how to work with people who have money, because there's a lot of different plays that you have, a lot of things to open up. And in general, it's good to also have those resources for other people. There's 3 things that determine how a hard money lender sees you. This isn't just a hard money lender. This is really anybody. Basically, it's safety and placement. So a hard money lender has to put money somewhere, right? They have to place money in order to make money. And where they place it, who they place it with, determines on how safe they think that money is. And when a hard money lender sees a deal, so another question we get, people say, well, a hard money lender on the people page, for example, some of them advertise, 5% down, 3% down. But I sent them a deal and they wanted like 30% down. It's because they don't think it's very safe. And it's because people always say, they just look at the deal. That's never true. I think we're going to talk about that, right? It comes down to you. It's always about you. It's how safe they feel the money is with you, how well they can trust you. So when you say, the property's worth X, and they say, no, it's worth this, they don't trust you. They don't trust that your numbers are right. There's 3 things that determine how a hard money lender, if you want to get into the world of finance, of loans or anything, this is what you need to understand. There's 3 things that determine how much money you have access to. And one is experience. How much experience do you have? How many deals, closings, etc. Now, if you're starting from zero, it's like, well, I don't have any experience. That's okay. We can deal with that. But the second thing is resources. And this is how much money you have. The less you need money, the easier it is to get. That's the truth with like pretty much everything, right? So the more money you have, the better credit you have. It's like credit card offers. We talk about fixing your credit. Once you get to the other side of your credit, like above 730, 750, you just keep getting credit cards just sent to you, pre-approved. You just, when you don't need credit cards and you don't need credit, you don't need anything, it's very easy to get approved for credit cards. I had the first time I ever got a credit card over $50,000. I thought that was crazy at Costco. And then somebody else, 2 people now that we know of, have over $50,000 lines of credit at Costco. Or I think one of them's Costco, both are Costco, right? It's crazy. And it's like, when I applied for that, I said, listen, I don't even want to hear about it unless it's over $100,000. I've never had a credit card with $100,000 credit limit, right? And when I applied, when I went to the store, I was like, if it's less than $100,000, don't even bother me. Don't even waste my time, right? Because I was like, they're not going to approve it. And she came back, she's like, I'm sorry, we couldn't do that. We were only able to get 60,000 or 70,000. It's crazy. I was like, what? It's crazy. But you can do that. I never thought you'd get credit cards with a credit limit of 50,000. The secret to doing that, I've got like 300 credit cards now. I got carried away. I got really excited when I started doing it. And now multiple people, you've got probably 200 or 300, right? But so what's your highest limit? Okay, $40,000 credit limit, right? So $50,000 credit limit on one credit card, it is possible. I thought it was impossible. But the thing is, if you have available credit of like, over $1 million or $2 million and you're not using any of it, well, then they just want to throw money at you. So, but the point being, when the resources, what makes you attractive to any hard money lender is your experience, your resources, how much money credit you have and that you have access to. So you kind of want to check all the boxes. You want to have, not only do you have experience, but you also have a lot of money and credit, and you also have friends and people who want to work with you who have money and credit. The more of those 2 things you have, the more attractive you are. And then obviously the deal itself. But contrary to what people say, you always hear this in real estate. They don't care about commercial lenders or hard money lenders. They don't care about you. They just look at the deal. That's never true. They always care about you. They're going to want to know who they're working with. They're going to want to know that you're trustworthy, that you're going to do what you're going to say. And they're always going to look at you. It's never going to be just about the deal. The only exception is if you find someone, a hard money lender who's specifically focused on one area. They know the area really well, and they know, you got to know streets really in real estate. So if they're really focused on that area, then you can get away with that. How can I get all my hard money and private money and loans zero down? Is that the same thing or is it a different headline? Okay, so follow these 3 beautiful steps and 3 beautiful things will happen. Number 1, you'll have access to more money than you'll ever need if you do what we're about to talk about. I'm going to go over the 10 steps in a second. Number 2, you'll have hard money and private money lenders and other people competing for your attention, competing for your approval, competing for you to work with them and to suggest to work with, to have other people work with them. Remember that class we made on how Anna is putting together, 15, 20 grand a week? That number's actually grown, but now there's multiple people. I think probably 15 people who are making a part-time income, brokering money basically, and helping people find money just using the people page. And this is how you get people. The steps are going to go over. No one's doing all 10 of them except us, but it's really easy to do, and you'll have all kinds of opportunities available to you. Number 3, you'll be able to be the bank. This is really exciting. This is where you become the sandwich and you're able to lend money out for deals where you can. One of the most profitable things to do, especially in real estate or any kind of thing, any kind of business arrangement, is to be controlling the money. So when you can borrow money as private money and lend it out as hard money, you can make that spread, and you can also work with people and help them. One of the most, I don't know if we're going to talk about this today, but I got sometimes people be like, oh, an NPO can't make money, because we talk about one of the things I recommend: go volunteer. It's a top thing to do. If you're new to our stuff, go volunteer. It's the most important thing you can do to help the world and help yourself and to make things happen. Go volunteer somewhere, anywhere. And as soon as you volunteer, you're going to be around people who you want to help, right? So you can go to a group and you can help them raise. So if you're in real estate right now and you borrow private money, you've got to do this. Go to a volunteer group, volunteer somewhere, and tell that group, hey, I use hard money, private money, but you know what would be really cool is if I helped you guys go to your sponsors, go to your people, your donors, your volunteers, raise money, maybe 100, 200,000, 300,000, how much ever I borrow, and I'll just borrow that money from you. I'll pay the money that I'm paying them, and I'll pay it to the group. The money's safe because it's in real estate. You could show them again the same things everyone's going to look at. Show them your experience, show them your resources, and show them the deals. Make sure they understand it, and you can turn any NPO, any charity, any group you work with into a private money lender, into a hard money lender, and they can make quite a bit of money. The deal that she just made a video, it's like $5,000 a month. Sorry, that you're making an extra $5,000 a month, going to your volunteer group, helping them raise that money, and you can tell all the people who donated money, listen, we're going to borrow money, we're going to lend it out, and if you want, you can get the money back at the end of the year. And people have said like, oh, NPOs can't make money. Are you serious? The NFL until like 2015 was a nonprofit. Nonprofits can make a ton of money. The reason they switched their status, by the way, is because they didn't want to show, what's that shitbird's name? No offense to birds, shitball I should say. Roger Goodell made like $40 million in 1 year as his salary working at an NPO. Guys working at a nonprofit makes $40 million, and the nonprofit's the NFL. There's all kinds of ways that nonprofits can make money, and they can lend that money out. They can also maybe take that money, apply it to a building. They can just get a line of credit against that building. That's just one way to get private money. Work with people who have good credit. They get a line of credit on their house, get that money, lend it out for them, and you split the money you make with them. Go to your group and help them raise money, and then lend that money out to investors. This is why all the deals that Anna has, all the deals that any of us have, we always say we've got all the funding. If you need help with funding, let us know. We have all the funding. Is not hard to get. It's easy to do. So you want to be the bank. You want to lend that money out. If you can lend that, if you're in between, you can have a sandwich situation where you're splitting that money with them. There's all kinds of ways for you to make money with them. Make sense? Okay, so that's how you want to lend that money out and make money on those deals. Okay, 5 steps to zero down. 5 steps to get hard money loans, zero down. So this is more about whenever people talk about zero down or no qualifying or working with hard money or private money, what you're really saying is relationship money. How do you build a relationship better with people? So the number one thing is a nobody mountain. We talk about this constantly, and it's one of the biggest, simplest. Just imagine that. So let's take any goal that you have, whether you want to get in shape, you want to open a gym, you want to build a business, you want to buy a business, you want to get into real estate. You start thinking about this and start applying this to everybody you work with. So imagine that your goal is the top of a mountain and you're at the base of a mountain. Well, everyone's at the base, right? So every time you take one step up, every time you go up 1 step, 1 inch, 1 foot, every time you take 1 step up, less and less people are there with you because less people are willing to go that height, right? So you want to go far enough to where eventually nobody's there. That's what the nobody mountain is, an accumulation of effort, accumulation of resources, education, materials that nobody else is willing to do. A nobody mountain. The story we came up with, we used to interview agents. We'd say, hey, Julie has a Julie mountain. That's what she's going to do for our clients. Oh, Zach has a Zach mountain. Bob has a Bob mountain. And one of our heroes said, what we need is a nobody mountain. We need to build our own mountain of material, educational stuff. We need to go so far above and beyond what everybody else is doing that when somebody comes into our world, they're like, oh my gosh, I got to work with those people. So you got to build your nobody mountain. This is the fastest way. If I came to your business right now, no matter what business you're in, you should be able to point to a nobody mountain. You should be able to say, right there, go look at that. That is an accumulation of effort and resources and helpful, like really cool shit that nobody else is willing to do. BigRia.com is a nobody mountain. Our motivated seller page, a nobody mountain. Our people page, I have like 10 nobody mountains, right? Nobody's willing to do it. We've worked probably, I think it's like, was that the second one you had too? Another Ria has come into us saying, oh, how do we build a people page that makes us money? And man, in the video, I explained it. It's not about the people page. You can list a whole bunch of people, like you can go out and find realtors. What was that? Was that on the other side too? So you can go out and you can find realtors, you can find investors, you can find hard money lenders, right? But here's what happens. When somebody asks you for help, when somebody says, hey, I need find a whatever, what happens? Do you just send them to the page and that's it? Or do you follow up incessantly and make sure that they get help? That is what you want to do. You want to make sure that anybody that comes in your world is better off and that they get exactly the answer that they need. You follow up to the very end, even if you're not making money. It's almost especially if you're not making money, because it does a lot for the relationship. People are like, oh my gosh, not only were you so helpful and over the top, but you actually followed through and made sure that I really, you go to bigria.com and it's like, it's obvious the love, the passion, the caring, the empathy that we have for people trying to build social mobility and income ascension. And that's what I'm saying. You need to have, it should be that obvious to you. You should be doing that. And if you're not into doing that with real estate, then do something else, because this is the secret, building a nobody mountain. That's all we're doing here with all our stuff. It makes everything really easy. So number one, here's the first step to do. So this is how we're building a nobody mountain. So first, number one, talk with the hard money lender and learn about their preferences, what areas they like to invest in. And people be like, oh, they like real estate. Well, I like ice cream, right? Cookies and cake and stuff like that. Of course, that's crazy. I know, awesome. Cookies and cake, right? But there's like certain kinds of cookies that I prefer over others, right? Certain kinds of ice cream, right? That's what you want to find out. What are their preferences? Do they like duplexes, for example, or do they not like duplexes? Do they like single family, or is it more multi-units, multi-family? What are they into? And then what kinds of like zoning issues they have? Do they like to have places that are around like business and residential, or do they prefer specifically just one type of area? Is it rural area? Is it vacant land, near vacant land? What kinds of areas, like suburbs, inner city? You want to find this out, because so much of the problems people have with their hard money lender, or the problems they have with their private money lender, or problems they have with any lender and financing, is that you don't align your interests to begin with. So you want to know, what do you like? What do you like to do right now? What areas do you like? What specific areas? And then you want to get an idea of their experience. How many deals they do, how many they used to do, and what's been their experience before. They're usually in some kind of lending capacity. Also, hierarchy. This is super important. Every hard money lender that we work with, and all the ones on the people page, we can tell you exactly who the decision makers are, who the interns are, how big their organization is. Whenever we work with somebody, this is one of the first things we want to do, because you want to know who's making the decision. And when you pick up the phone, or you send an email, or you send a text, you want to know who you're talking to and where they fall in that hierarchy. Because not that you want to go above somebody, but maybe you do a conference call, maybe you do a group call, and make sure that you say, okay, so from what I understand, you guys are not into duplexes. You're not really so crazy about duplexes on the north side. But if it is a duplex on the south side, you're okay with that? Or you don't care if it's on the north side or south side, you just want to make sure it's at 1% or whatever. You get what I mean? Talk to them ahead of time. This will save so much time. No, almost nobody does this with their hard money lender, but some people do. So we're not at a nobody mountain yet. I promise you, nobody's doing all 10 of these things. Nobody's doing even half of them. First one, maybe they're doing this. Now, the process, understand the process. When I send you a deal, what happens? If I email it to you, who does it go to? What are the layers of verification that you guys go through? What appraisers, brokers, or BPOs do you use to get the, I'm assuming if you need more information on hard money lenders or private money lenders, go through our classes on that. And then you want to know the reception. Basically, what types of deals do you want? Maybe you need to educate them on certain types of deals. So if sometimes we'll deal with somebody who's not into business financing, like bridge financing, for example. This is a really profitable area where you take like a real estate hard money lender and you say, listen, have you thought about going into maybe real estate or business acquisition, like bridge financing, short-term funding for business loans? And all of them are like, oh, we haven't thought about that, but yeah, well, how would that work? Or they want to know more, right? They want more information. And you can educate them about these types of deals, because those can be really profitable too. So this is what we do. We want to have this process down. First, their preferences, their experience, the hierarchy, the process they go through. What's their reception? What are they most open to? What do they maybe need to be educated about? And what kinds of deals are you doing? And how does that fit into their overall goals? You get what I'm saying? That's the first thing. Number two, let them know about your other money options and their competition. So this is one of the first things. Like I said, the less you need money, the easier it is to get. So the first thing you want to do is let everybody know, hey, I'm talking to 6 or 7 different hard money lenders. Here's what I'm getting from them. Here's kind of how a package would look from them. Maybe they want 5% down, 10% down, no money down, but I need to have $20,000 in a bank account or something like that, right? So we let them know the criteria we're having from other people. That way we know that what criteria they say, they can see how realistic it is and how in line it is with what other people are asking for. You get what I'm saying? Number three, okay. So the first two things some people will do. They'll talk with a hard money lender. They'll get the preferences. The second thing, maybe they'll let them know, hey, here's how many other lenders I'm talking to. Here are the packages they're offering. I'm just letting you know so that you can have something that's competitive for either me or one of my investors that I work with or somebody else, right? But number three, nobody does. This is really how you get people begging you to take their money. Be it what we call the fly on the wall with your other deals so they can see you in action live. So I talked to a hard money lender today, let's say, or let's say I talk to him tomorrow or whenever, like right around now, like yesterday, today, tomorrow. If I talk to a hard money lender, I say, hey, you know what? I'm working on 2 deals. If you don't mind, would you be offended if I included you in the email chain? Basically, you'll see exactly where I got the deal, how much I bought it for, whether I bought it or whether I moved it to an investor, I had an equity partner or whatever. You'll see the entire deal, the exact contractors that we hired, how long it took, how long I thought it would take, the projection. You'll see that me do a whole deal from start to finish. You'll see it all live. And I just like to include you so that you get an idea of how we work and that there's no surprises later on. What does everyone say? Of course, that's exactly what they want to see, right? Every hard money lender you're ever going to talk to wants those emails. They want in on that kind of fly on the wall. Everybody, every private money lender you talk to, every investor you talk to, Anybody you ever talk to wants to see that. Everybody wants to see that. Now, number 4 is you send the previous fly on the wall packets for deals that are completed from A to Z. So once you do this once or twice, you see someone from beginning to end, they're able to see, you have an email chain, right? So you forward them the emails, maybe you black stuff out, or you have to don't include some of the stuff they're going to be able to find out anyway. And it's not that you don't want to include it, but you want to make sure that your people know what you're doing and that your attorney or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Use judgment, but make sure they see all the important details, right? Then you take that and it's basically a package. So the next person you talk to in your part of your propaganda package is the first thing they do is they get this list of 200-300 pages of just walking you through deal after deal after deal. So I say get 3 to 4 to 5 of these, and then you can use them, and you don't have to keep doing it every time. But it's good to do that. If I talk to a hard money lender and you're doing deals right now, say, hey, you know what? For the next deal, I want to keep you in the loop, and I'm gonna send you a quick email. I'm gonna send you a quick FedEx package of the last 3 deals or 3 deals, 3 random deals that I did, so you can see exactly what you're about to see. So now the hard money lender, think about this. We're at step 4 now. You know their criteria. You've had a beautiful conversation with them. Number 2, you've let them know. They know that you have plenty of other money sources, and they know what kinds of programs you're getting. Number 3, they saw you. They're watching you live in action. They're seeing you actually do deals, make money, negotiate the terms, get the deal done, take care of your investors, take care of your sellers, your buyers, your property managers, everyone's to be taken care of. They're seeing all this. And then number 4, they're seeing you do it before. So it's not just like a fluke. They're seeing you're sending them the previous fly on the wall package as well. You get what I'm saying? So we're on step 4, and there's nobody on earth. Already they're thinking, always ask yourself, when somebody's done talking to you or working with you, they're like, oh my gosh, that was completely crazy. That experience, that interaction, you show up like nobody else. You rate the standard. You build your nobody mountain, right? Number 5, send compliance curve material. This is really simple. Nobody does this. Videos, audios, books, testimonials, emails, anything. You want to send that stuff. Nobody does this, and nobody will. Almost nobody that's watching this will. This is really basic stuff you could send. Just take a quick video, cell phone video. We do this after every call we have. Send it to the person you talk to. Just a reiteration of the call. Hey, we just talked on the phone. You want to do blank so that you could blank, blank, blank. By the way, mention your hook. If you have one, most people don't. This is really simple stuff to do, man. And this is like, we're only like halfway through. I'm like, this is the most brilliant stuff you came up with. Who actually, was this from the other packet as well? I love this shit, man. I honestly, one of my favorite things to do is to sit down and put these things together. So if we sit down and say, okay, look, we want to take over, because what's going to happen? Your hard money lender is going to start calling you, and they're going to start saying, yeah, I saw that you had that deal. I want to lend you on that deal. You don't want a hard money lender saying, oh, I want to lend on real estate, or I want to lend on deals like this. You want them saying, listen, I want to work with you, whatever it takes. So let's talk. They've got the money, so they'll say, you know what? I know we have 15% down, but let's just go ahead and get rid of that. Every one of our hard money lenders, at least the ones that every single one on the people page and otherwhere, or elsewhere, they may not say, obviously they're not going to advertise zero down, or sometimes they do, but I guarantee you, all of them, how can I guarantee this, right? They'll all do zero down if you have a good relationship with them. Every single hard money lender, every single private money lender, anybody, well, private money, you're determining the terms with. What you need is people to be like, I gotta work with this guy, right? And watch the terms change. You can turn a hard money lender into a private money lender where you set the terms with them. The better relationship you have, and the safer their money is, and the more motivation you create with them to want to work with you. Look, we're on number 5. I promise you have my word. You put these 5 things in place, and you will have more money than you've ever wanted in your life. You'll have access to more cash, and you'll set the terms. We constantly turn. I mean, how many times we had somebody turn a hard money lender into a private money lender? In fact, the only time we do deals on hard money, I don't recommend you ever get loans. Never. If you're making less than 30 grand a month and you don't have a model in place, forget hard money loans altogether. You're doing this stuff. The reason why you would do this stuff is so you can help your investors get loans. You can help your investors get financing, because especially if they're passive, you never, ever get loans. You don't need loans for anything, right? We only got hard money loans to make the video to say, hey, here's the cost of hard money loans. It was crazy expensive. And we didn't use any of our special powers here. We didn't do any of this stuff because we wanted to just get the raw deal, what would cost you, a regular investor. All right. Number 6, explain why specific deals meet their specific goals and why. This is really important. Whenever you send someone a deal, I hear this all the time. Oh, my property manager's an asshole, or my hard money loans lenders being an asshole about the deal. No, he's not. Everybody does what they think is in their best interest. So it's your job, if you have a deal that maybe doesn't fall in line with their initial preferences that we talked about up here, right? And number 1, you need to go and sit down with them and talk to them and say, hey, listen, we talked about your preferences. This is a duplex and you're not into duplexes. I get that. Or this is a triplex, like a multifamily, but that's not commercial. A lot of times they freak out about that. And you could say, listen, I totally get that this is outside of what you're doing, but here's why it makes sense with your ROI goals, with your overall mission. Here's why that fits into that narrative. Explain that with these deals, because what you want to say when you go through the first 5 things, what I want to say with a hard money lender is every time you hear from me, I promise you, it's like the best shit you've ever heard in your life. It's going to be something super important, definitely related to you. I've researched it. I've checked it out. I've looked into it. It's good stuff. And it's something that's going to benefit you directly. Number 7, help them compete as a preferred lender to your people. So this is when when you know you're getting it good. When they're saying to you, hey, put me on the people page. Hey, I really want to make sure that I can lend to your people. And if my terms, if what I lay out isn't competitive, just let me know. That's their way of saying, hey, listen, if I get a chance to work with you or your people, I'll compete and I'll change our terms. Number 8, do a guarantee where they make it up on the back. I was the only person, I believe, that I was writing copy and I had come up, I think it was the first, I don't want to say this for sure, but I'm pretty sure in Indiana, but I'm pretty sure in the Midwest, maybe even the country, where I don't know for sure, okay, because somebody's going to be like, that's fucking bullshit. Okay, fine, maybe it's not, okay, but I wrote a headline for when I was a realtor, because I wanted what's the headline with Keith? I said, listen, if I don't sell your house, I'll buy it myself. I'll buy it myself cash. And the idea was that I'm going to buy it minus the commission and 10% below market value. So I was like, you know what, I should be able to, I should be safe. And I'd never had a problem, by the way, because if every seller that listened to me would list their house quickly, then you'd get the know-it-alls that are like, well, I think the market is, and they want to sell list their house higher than they should have. And what happens with houses, by the way, quick note on that, selling houses, pricing is super important. It's not like, oh, let me price it high and I can lower it. The days on market's really important. When the days on market gets too high, or as soon as it's out of whack or not in line with the market, the house, if it's going to sell, it's going to sell fast and pretty close to asking price. If it's not going to sell, it's not going to sell at all. And this is why houses continue to raise after 60, 90 days, because people lower their price. The sales of houses raise. So if it's priced right, it sells right. If it's not priced right, it's not going to sell at all. And it becomes a real problem, becomes that albatross around your neck. But the guarantee for the listings, and I had a bunch of realtors, the number one realtor in Indiana, still to this day, actually, when I got my license, he got his license right before mine. Still, he stopped using it because of the legal court. They didn't like that. A lot of people stopped using it for that reason. But I told him, I said, listen, I'll be your investor. And for years, we worked out a deal where I said, listen, every listing you get, make that, you can still say that, because I'll buy the house cash or on terms. So we'd make 2 offers. You make an offer on cash and on terms as well. But the whole thing I'm here saying is, my point is that we're doing a guarantee. So if you're starting to work with a hard money lender or any lender, start doing a guarantee. Go refinance or go get a line of credit on your house, or have some resource or something, and show them and say, listen, you're not going to lose money on me. To this day, I'm putting this on the internet. Listen, nobody, even when my house got raided, I lost everything. The only people that lost money were the banks who called my money due and took all the money out of my bank account. Those that was not a nice thing to do. Not that I hold a grudge, right? I was 20 years old, so it was like 2.5 years ago, right? The thing is though, like even then, the people who invested in me, every one of them got their money back. I put in the lender agent model. I did what I had to. I was buying houses. I started getting apartments and just moving them equity deals in apartments. I did what I had to make sure everyone got paid back. To this day, I'm saying this right now on the internet. Anyone can say this is BS. Nobody has lost money on House of Mail. No deal ever. I used to guarantee, I still do, I guess, but I mean, when I used to do deals, I'd say, listen, you're not going to lose money on this deal. I promise you, if it goes down, I'll buy it from you. I'll come and move you. All the deals with Anna, it's one of the first things she says. I said, look, start telling everyone. It's a guarantee, especially because she's kind of still fresh. You always tell people, we have a guarantee with everything we do. You're not going to lose money on a deal. That if we send you a deal and we have numbers on that deal, you go with our numbers, you're going to make money. Guaranteed. Promise. You're not going to lose money. And if something like that happens, God forbid, we'll take care of you. So do a guarantee where if you could say, listen, you usually charge 10%, 20% up front. Listen, I have a line of credit here on my house. Just let's not do the 10% down or 20% down right now. Let's just put it all on the back end. Let's not do monthly payments. Let's put it on the back end. If you lose money on this deal or something goes south, I'll take care of it. Here's my money. Here's my line of credit. You only need to do this a couple of times before they realize, you know what, this guy knows what he's doing. Every time I hear from this guy, you talk to realtors, they don't even return calls, man. They're just such lazy shits, man. They don't return calls. They sit there, you text them 10 times, their voicemail is full. It's just insane. It's really easy to outshine people. You think anybody's out there doing this? Come on, nobody's doing this. What's up with that icon? Thing's going nuts. It's like on crack. No, the blinker, the cursor. All right, number 8, do a guarantee. Number 9, let them compete with offers on your deals first. So here's another way of doing these deals. If you say, listen, it's because as you do this, people are going to come to you out of the woodwork. Hard money lenders, private people, private money people, all kinds of people say, listen, I want to work with you. I need to get deals with you. If you get that email that Anna and I send out every week, which only goes out because it got so many people, it only goes out to people that we've done deals with now. It's like 600-700 people it was. I don't know how many people are on it now. If you're on that list, you can see the replies that we get. I mean, maybe 20-30 replies every time, people with money. And there's now about 5 or 10 people a week, serious lending people. They're like, listen, the next time you have a deal and an investor, just send us what your best offer is and we'll match it. We'll beat that offer. That's hard money lenders. Private money, they're coming out of the woodwork saying that. They just want to lend on these deals because they watch videos like this. They know that I'm guaranteed everything. They know they're not videos, my videos necessarily, Anna's videos that get much, have a lot of high compliance, but they know how we work. They know that we're serious. They know we're going to take care of you. No one's going to lose money, and that I'm just a beautiful, amazing human being, right? 9, let them compete with offers on your deals first. That's the second time I said that, keeping on your toes. Number 10, a GXM. This is the easiest way to do this. You can start with this, build their business, help them get introduced to investors or other people, help them do deals, something to volunteer for their business. You can say, you know what, every month I pick one of my hard money lenders and we do a volunteer project. I just want to see how much I can grow your business by in the next 1 week, or I pick one a week, a different business every week, and once a month, one of those businesses is going to be one of my hard money lenders. I see how I can help you grow your business. It's easy to do. Guys, really simple to do. Here are the 10 steps to get all the private money, all the hard money you need. Like I said, 3 things are going to happen. Number 1, you're going to have access to more cash than you know what to do with. Number 2, you're going to have, what was number 2? You're going to be able to broker that money out to be the bank on that money. Oh, number 2 is that they're going to be competing for your money. Was that the second thing? Yeah, right. Competing for your attention. So you have all the money you want. You have them competing for your attention. You're going to be the bank. You're going to be able to be in the middle, lending that money out. Remember to work with your groups and companies that, causes and groups and things like that, and help them get their money too. So talk to your hard money lender, get their preferences, let them know about money, your other options, be a fly on the wall, really important. Number 4, send previous fly on the wall stuff. 5, your compliance curve material. 6, always explain why a deal. Don't just send, one of the problems, people send, BS. You don't know if it's important. You don't know if they listen to you. Did they hear any of your criteria? Whenever you send a deal to someone, explain why you sent it to them specifically. Number 7, help them compete as a preferred lender to your people, to your investors, to anyone that you work with, your private money people, or your property managers, your investors who want to buy. Number 8, do a guarantee where you guarantee that they're going to make the money up that they're not paying every month. A lot of times they're like private money. If you say, listen, I'll just pay you 1% a month, that's 12% a year. I'll take the money for as long as I have it. Every first, I'll pay you 1%. You can do the same thing with hard money. You're converting hard money into private money. Take that hard money, convert it into private money, lend it out, and split the money you make with that lender. It's another way of doing it. Just all kinds of ways of making money on these deals. Number 9, let them compete with offers on your deals first. Number 10, do a GXM. As always, save the world, be a badass. I love you.